road.
So I'm halfway across South Dakota, maybe a little bit more actually, before we head south, 132 mile. And this is what happens with the Great Freeze when you get out there. Look at this. That is solid. You've got to watch the step when you get out as well, because that's all iced up to shit. So you've got to remember, otherwise you're going to go ass of a tit. And that's never going to be a good thing. That's pretty frozen up on there. That's pretty. If anybody's watched my other videos, you'd have seen where it froze up on the wheel nuts before, and the spiky wheel nuts looked really cool. That was in North Dakota, but that's pretty solid, is that? Hopefully it's going to warm up a bit now. Hopefully. Very therapeutical, or whatever the word is. And that was only at -1 centigrade, so, you know, you imagine if the road's going to be pretty skaty as well in places, if it's doing that. Obviously that's the wind coming across at you. Which way was the wind blowing? That was blowing at me. I'd have thought it'd have been at this side, but at this side, obviously a lot warmer. Really bizarre, isn't it? Because I thought, because the wind was coming at me from this side, I would have thought that it would have been on the other side that I'd have got all my icicles and shit, but it'll seem not. That's enough kicking. I'm gonna get inside, it's bloody cold. Oh, let's have a look at it. I need to do me light as well. We've got a bit frozen up, poor duck. See, this is what I mentioned about with your new headlights. They don't get warm, do they? So before you know it, you ain't seeing nothing out of them because they've all frozen up. There we go. I put some spaghetti bolognese in, so I'm gonna quickly have that and then I'll sort my lights out. Bye bye. And finally, I managed to get enough ahead of the weather to stop, have a quick bit of dinner, as I said, and the weather's still looking good now. But there's like a little bit of a horseshoe I'm looking at on the radar thing. Look, I'm there, that little blue bit right in the middle of there. So I will be hitting a few bit more. But at the moment, it's time to reclaim a bit of miles back, or get some more miles under my belt rather, and get it foot to the floor and get some miles munched. And I've got 5 hours. We're just short of 5 hours. I want to get at least maybe 350 miles in if I can in 5 hours, which should be okay, because as you can see, the traffic's good now, as long as that next bit of storm doesn't hold me up too much, and then I'm heading south just after that anyway, so I'm out of it, way out of it then. I should be okay, hopefully, fingers crossed. I've said that before, it'll be what it'll be, won't it? So, you know, you've just got to crack on while you can and take advantage of this bit here now. I don't like this setting off Monday afternoon, it's no good at all. If we're doing this as a regular thing, I need to be getting it loaded Friday or Saturday, so I can go early, either Sunday night, get over the mountains, or very early, like 3:30 or something like that on Monday morning. Especially this time of year, shit. But you know, it ain't going to be all the time. It's only because of I had some papers and shit to stay at home and sign and things like that, so that was a bit of the problem. I like to get to places well before my time, so you know, I know I've got plenty of time into store. That'll put me at 1,300 miles if I get another 350 in today, or just over 1,300. So that should, you know, that's doable, but I need to do another 700 tomorrow, really to so I've only got 600 to do on Friday, because I want to get there, definitely want to get there, obviously, because of the time difference. I'm only on 4 o'clock, it's now 7 o'clock over the east side. Because of that, if we were all on the same time, it wouldn't be a problem, because I'd be parked up, say 8 o'clock, Harbour State, something like that, getting off at 6:30 in the morning. I'd be able to use my little bit of time on Saturday morning to drive in and get in before 10 o'clock. But because of the time difference being forward on the east side and losing those 3 time zones, I've got to get there on the Friday night, basically, because I'll be having my, otherwise it'll be bollocks by the time I've had my 10 off. So we'll do what we'll do. If we can't do it, we can't do it. I'm sure I can sort something out and get in touch with them and something like that. I'll know better tomorrow night, definitely, and we'll go from there, obviously. It's just it's a big gamble, isn't it, whether I can do it or not. It shouldn't be held up too much. Thing is as well, I don't want to get too close on Friday. I don't want too early rather, so I don't want to be starting my car too early anyway, running into New York, because I'll just lose far too much time on Friday afternoon, if it's early afternoon, trying to get into New York over the bridge and get in onto the island, Long Island, where I'm going. It'll just be a shit show. It really will. If I try to do it at rush hour, I will definitely run out of time. So I'm planning on trying to get there round about the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock their time. So, or maybe even a bit later. Maybe get to the place about midnight. So everybody's gone. Everybody's done their shit. They've all gone home, and they're all happily tucked up. Hopefully, as I slide in, sneak in. As you can see, this is nice now. Not for long though. When I get to the 113 mark, Sioux Falls, and drop south, then obviously it's a city there, quite a big city. There'll hit quite a bit of traffic around there. As a rule, it's nothing to be worrying myself about. It is 5 o'clock there now. No, by the time I get there, another hour and a half, it's going to be 6:30 or something, 7 o'clock near on. So it should be right. It'd be right, boy. I haven't got my return load yet, so I don't know where I'm going next. Which I'll only probably have 20 hours when I get there. We're still running on the covert stuff. I'm not on this load because this isn't supermarket restock, otherwise it would have been super easy. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been a problem. I'd have just lit it up and gone straight through. Or just had 7 hours off tonight, 6 hours, and be there. I'd have been there Friday afternoon, but it ain't. It isn't. So it isn't. We can't do anything about that. But if the next load, I'll probably be down to Georgia or Salt Lake City trying to get me across, or hey, maybe Florida. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Sending me down there. We'll see. Or he could send me anywhere. I don't really. I ain't gonna. He often tells me. I'm sure he does it just as a carrot. Does my transport manager? He'll say, "Oh, I could send you to Florida." I'm like, yeah, okay. I haven't been for a year, I think now. Well, that was short-lived, wasn't it? God damn, back on the ice again. That's just ice on the outside lane. Like I told you before, with the wind chill out here, that just freezes right over, which I was worried about might happen. So it's steady away. As you can see, this bit's bone dry where my feet are going in. That's good. But there'll be no overtaking, that's for sure. I ain't sitting out on that shit. Not a cat in hell's chance. Luckily, we ain't got a lot of traffic out there, and it's keeping moving pretty good. That looks a bit ominous on this. I don't like these slabs. That looks shit. That looks too shiny for me. Might just be wet. It's at that horrible temperature now. It's down at -3, which is the slippy, slidey shit. there's any more snow forecast, but that doesn't look too good up there. It looks pretty shitty, but I'm sure it said there wasn't any forecast, but who knows? Couldn't do with any snow dumping on top of that, especially that shit in the outside lane. That would be nasty. What's happening up there? We've got hazard lights going off, all sorts of shit. No, but a lot of people out can't understand it. And as the light starts to fade. Oh, living the dream, all the fun, eh? Could be worse, it could be slinging chains. It's always worse. I always think of this one as well. Could be worse, I could be on my motorbike. Motorbike on snow and ice is not good. Motorbikes are just not for snow and ice. They're not. I used to ride my bike to work all year round. I did through a couple of winters I've done, and man, that was a bit hideous. So, guys and gals, as a lot of you know me, I would usually press on, but that was looking pretty shitty out there. It was not very good at all, to be fair. It's hovering around the 0 to -3, things like that, up and down and stuff, and it was it's that horrible temperature, like I've explained before on my other videos. Once it gets colder than that, all the moisture gets sapped out of the air around here, and it's pretty clean going, you know what I mean? But it's rained and it's sleeted, and then we've it's just frozen over the top, and what with the wind coming across South Dakota here, it's really bad. Even though there ain't a lot of snow on the ground, what there is and the ice underneath and stuff like that, it's just shit. I ain't doing it. I decided I ain't doing it. I had another 2 hours to drive, but I thought, fuck it, I ain't gonna do it. I'm 1,551 mile away, 1,551 mile from New York. I've got a couple of days. I've got two and a half days really. So, because I parked up early, I'll set off dead on my 10. That'll be 5 o'clock my time in the morning. That's still 8 o'clock over this time. So if I do a good day tomorrow, I could still make the 10 o'clock for Saturday. Fingers crossed. The weather forecast is looking a lot better, it really is. So, and it's moving away from where I am now. But what's on the ground's on the ground, and that's it. So I missed 2 junctions. I tried to get off at one a little bit further back, truck stop, and I ended up sliding and what have you. I couldn't fucking stop, it was that bad. So I just had to light it up and push it straight through past the junction. I just front end nipped up and what have you. It's like, fuck, this is really slippy out there. I've seen so many trucks off the road today, it's unbelievable. You know, I've never seen so many. I think what the problem is people, because there isn't a lot of snow on the ground and stuff like that, people get a bit overconfident, and people were driving a bit. I might be a pussy, people might say, and stuff like that. I'm doing 50 on the ice and stuff like that. I ain't going much over that, 50, 60s in places, depending. But people are coming past me like it was express trains, you know. They might have bare tyres on, who knows, and what have you, made super drivers. But it was getting a little bit worrying out there, it was. They were bunching up behind the ploughs and shit like that. And I thought, doop. Not for me, not for me. So that's it, nice little parking spot in this here truck stop. And it's BP, I ain't stopped in this one before. Went over, had a wash and what have you, had a chat with the guys in the garage, and he said, yeah, it's looking good, weather's gonna flare up tomorrow and what have you, so we'll have a go tomorrow. It's not worth it. It ain't worth it trying to sleep at an angle like that if I go off the road or something, isn't my cup of tea. So that'll be me, telly night and bed, I think. And like I say, we'll try tomorrow. That wind is rocking about now. But hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Good morning. And now it definitely paid off. It is Thursday morning now. I've got 1,500 miles to do. It has paid off stopping, definitely, and not going any further. Look at it this morning. She's a beauty. So I can get it lit up now. She's running on full bore. So I've got another 100 and something mile of this nice fast stretch of 80s, so I can get try and get some time back and stuff like that. I had my minimum 10 hours off. It's warmed up a hell of a lot, and obviously, as you can see, we haven't got ice all over the road anymore. You know, you can carry on. You've got to work things out. You can carry on at going those slow speeds and risking it and shit like that. But because I wasn't going as fast as I'd like to be going, the 2 hours more that I still had to drive last night at 40 mile an hour and not doing 80 mile an hour is a difference of another 80 mile an hour, another hour and a half basically, that I'm going to lose going that slow. And that's adding on to the pendulum. As I keep saying, time is the trucker's enemy, so it's always against you. So parking up, having my minimum 10, that gets me back into setting off nice and early, like 5 o'clock it was this morning. Now if I do a hard hit today and not drag my heels, do my 10 hours or 11 hours driving, minimum up. It's the minimum stops during the day that I need, so I can basically try and get my whole work day finished within 12 hours. That way I'm having 10 hours off and I'm gaining back time, if that makes any sense. You can't do it on your English tacho because you work on a 24-hour tacho. Over here, it doesn't make any difference. Once you've done your time, if you have 10 hours off, it doesn't matter if it's got back, it hasn't made the 24 hours, you can just drive. Once you've had 10 hours off, you've got a clean sheet basically to go again and do another 11-hour driving. Obviously, if you're not up to your max of 70 hours, but that's the way it works. So you can actually, if you do a 12-hour day, you're 11 hours and 12 hours, 12-hour full working day period, basically, 10 hours off, you've gained 3 hours back. You know what I mean? On your 24. So then you're not setting off at 6 o'clock, you're setting off at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, or whatever you stop and start again. I think that makes perfect sense to me. Probably sounds googly douche or something to everybody else, but there you go. So yeah, I've got this. I'll be at Iowa 80 about lunchtime. I'll be going through Iowa 80 through the truck stop. Did I need to stop? I can't remember. I may pull in. We might have a little bit of time. We might go get some lunch there or something. We'll see. But yeah. I was working it out as well last night. I wasn't going to make the Friday, not even dragging going too slow like I was. I wanted to make Friday night, but it was slowly slipping away that. Even if I'd have carried on last night, it wouldn't. But as it is now, and doing quick days, claiming a little bit of the hours back so I can set off earlier, I've still got that Saturday morning window that I can use. So I'll get a little bit before, probably. I'll try and push 700 today. If I get anything over 700, happy days. Probably a 650 tomorrow, something like that, because it slows down after Chicago and stuff like that. I'll be around Chicago somewhere tonight, and then that'll leave me Saturday morning hopefully for only about 250 miles, something like that, which is great. I'll make it on time, which is all happy days. As it's running now, I'm going to have to stop anyway before pretty early on Friday, tomorrow. Otherwise I'm going to be trying to get into New York round about the rush hour time on a Friday. That ain't going to be good fun. That ain't going to work at all. Oh yeah, definitely happy with stopping last night rather than trying to push on. Oh bloody hell! Look where we're at.
Just a little bit.
Look where we're at. What's the queue like for the truck wash? We ain't really got time for that. No, forget the truck wash.
Make me turn my damn volume down.
No, too
Well,
many.
it does sound good.
Too many.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Can only be here, can't it, Tom? The terrible place. The place where money gets taken out of your wallet.
Place to get a CB tuned out. Across the road, but it's not here. Over there, Lake Station. There's a guy over there by the next to the.
There's the museum. Let's have a look, see what fancy pants rigs we've got in today.
Alright, I appreciate it. I'm gonna check into that. I was gonna say, don't go to this one here walk out there with the shit. Not no more. They used to a long time ago, but not no more.
Well, this in the CB shop.
I ordered this one online at G.I. Joe Radio out of Kentucky down there, and it came already set up and ready to roll.
There you go.
Already feature tweaked and everything, huh? Yep, I bought it and 2 Predator antennas. Those are good antennas.
That's a nice pretty one. Let's turn them off. Fucking bullshit. Man's got his deck chair out. What's all that about? Deck chair out praying to his car. Oh, he's doing his lights. He's got.
Turn right on 215th Street, then turn right.
Oh no, that's. What's he? I think he's the CB tune-up man. What? Oh no, his pilot car. There you go. Some pretty ones there. I don't like people who park their fucking flipping cars in the car park thing. In the truck park. We've got a clusterfuck going on. What's happening? Oh, reversing, man. Oh, let's turn this on. We ain't got time for this, really. Maybe I should have gone the other way, up the top. Come on, mister, get the lead out. You can't see because the light's shining on it. It's just a picture of it's just me. Look. There's the. You've seen it all on the other videos. You know the crack. I've had a cracking good morning, I'll tell you. I managed to really get on. It's midday now. I'm just going to have some dinner. It's just after 12 o'clock. So I've got over 400 miles. No, I haven't. I've near on 500 miles in this morning. Have I? I think something like that. 400 or 500 miles. I don't know, I've done really well though. I'm well chuffed with how I've got on, so I'll
West Iowa 80
chuck it in here for a little bit. Not a lot, just enough to get some food and then fire it out again. Where's those? Disabled. Not disabled. We'll go up and put it on the top and then we can stretch our legs and have a walk. We've got a lot of activity going on. Shit. Go for a comfort.
Turn left on West Interstate Street, then take the first left.
Pretty ones there. You've got everything here. You've got the lot. You know you've got the lot. You've seen it all before. We've got everything going down at the Iowa 80 truck stop, the biggest truck stop in the world. And it's nice and warm as well. There's one of VK's up there. You see the black and the mustardy, whatever colour cream up there. All flash, no cash, 42 cents a mile. Catching, get in there. Maybe he's a happy driver. For me. Here you go for me cab overlooking loving beauties. Look at that, Old International. Still earning its money. It's a beauty. And there's always going to be one of the greedy cab ranges. Look at that bad boy. Far too much room. What would you do with all that? And the best one in the car park goes to, what we got here, this Kenworth. Look at that badass. That is pretty, isn't it? like that one. There's a one of the new ones over there, the W990. By they do look sweet, those. Look it up, W990. I think they're really smart now. They're a classic one with a flat hood and what have you. They've only been out about a year, I think, that one. Anyway, I managed to make it out of IO80 without buying anything. Surprise, surprise. So, hightailing it out of here now. Find somebody polishing an IO80 truck stop, and hell has he got a good right to polish that. Look at that beauty. She is a beauty, is that one. That's a credit, sir. That is lovely.
How you doing? Thank you.
I'm good. I'm just going to have a word with this guy. This is some truck, is that? That's your Peterbilt. That'll have a Cat engine in, yeah?
Yeah.
What size engine's that, buddy?
565.
565. Automatic, obviously.
18 speed.
18 speed. It had to be an automatic. A manual, sorry. You aren't going to get no automatic in there. No, these guys love their manuals. They certainly do. Let's have a look.
Can't do no automatic.
They will not change. They won't have it. They are stuck in their manuals, and that's the way they are. There's a few of them who are changing over slowly and stuff like that, but definitely that is nice. Obviously, this is tank there. You won't be swinging no chains on there then, sir, will you?
No. No.
No chain slinging there. He'll be just parking up and that'll be it. But that is an absolute beauty. I love these big long fenders. Look at that big long fender there. And quite rightly so, diamond. This is obviously a newer one because today's your def tank in there. Got a metal flake going on. And I must be getting going on. There you go. I know you like to have a look around. So look, we've got the International, the old Internationals turn up there. And there's Diamond Blue there. Or Blue Diamond. Yeah, for the polishing guys and things like that, the people who likes the polishing, you'll see plenty of here. They aren't ashamed to polish them. I've been known to polish my truck in here as well. There's an old Chevy coming at me. That'll be old 60 something, that. That'd be sweet. Yeah,
In 1/4 mile.
yeah, for the people who don't agree with polishing, look away. You don't want to be in here. They'll polish away in front of everybody, and everybody's proud. A lot of proud people with the rigs over here, really is, as there is in England as well in places, but and Europe and stuff. But there is a lot more owner-operators out here than what you've got in Europe, definitely, because it's a lot easier to get your own trucking license. There's the W990 that I was on about. See that right there, that black one? That's the new one. Well, not new, I think they've been out about a year, that one or something. I do like that. They don't do it in the high roof one. I haven't seen a high roof one yet, only the lower roof one. But they're still pretty tall inside, you know. I ain't gonna be touching the ceiling, that's for sure. But whether they've got the double bunk in or not, you probably will be able to get the double bunk, but you obviously won't have that much room, which I do need the double bunk for summer when lads getting a bit older and family come with me and stuff like that. Definitely always look some nice and couple of bad boys there, don't they? They just look angry, don't they? The Peterbilts just look, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna eat you. Even when they're dirty, they look cool. Bits going on that. I've seen this one before. I saw that the other week. I want one of those bug deflectors. You see his bug deflector? I need one of those, I think. Please, boss. I promise to do good. It's getting toasty, it's 15 degrees.
Then take the third
Unbelievable. A couple of weeks or so back here, you were talking on a night minus something. There's a lake up there, and no. Is there anything coming? No. There's a lake just at the back of here, there's the truck museum. If you've done the truck museum before, and you haven't done it for a couple of years or a year or something like that, it's still worth going back in, because they do swap their stuff around with other museums. So it's just a little heads up. So you know, you might see different stuff if you get in there. So it's definitely, if you're passing, fire it in and have a look. Yeah, there's a lake up there. No word of a lie. I was coming out of here one morning and it was super cold. It was minus silly cold. You know what I'm saying? And it's a Western Star. Gotta be coming in here. There's nowhere to go. There we go. Yeah, there's a lake up top there, and the freeze must have come through really quickly. And there was no word of a lie. There was a swan with its head dunked in the water, frozen solid in the water. Obviously dunked in, and well, look at that old beast. That is an old one. It obviously frozen with its head underneath and died, poor thing. Just its ass sticking out in the air. There you go. There's a fact.
In 1/4 mile.
Bye bye, Iowa 8. Teapot's full, and we're ready to go again. I've got, where's my tingy? I think I've only got about 5 hours. So I'll do that one in. I'll just kick that out there. As far as I can. That'll get me to the other side of Chicago. Bit of a bummer, I'm going to hit Chicago now at sort of rush hour. Bendy wheels. But it shouldn't be too bad. You don't actually hit Chicago in this way. It's just the bottom end around Gary and what have you. So sweep around the bottom of the lake, and then away we go into the wilderness. 1,051 miles to go. Hopefully we'll get 5 hours, so we should get over 300 miles. It's still 70 mile an hour right the way across this, so still getting lit up.
In 5 miles.
I just want to quickly add this. I'm pretty sure that man back there with the fancy pants Peterbilt, he told us that was a Cat engine in that 575. I'm pretty sure that Cat don't make engines anymore for road haulage vehicles. So I think he was telling pork pies, because I don't think they've made one for quite a while because of the emissions and shit like that, trying to get the emissions down, and obviously they have a death system on it. I will look into this. What was he, Diamond somebody or other? I think it'd have been what's the other one? You can either get a Packard, or Packard, they call me out. Either a Packard or the commodity. Somebody will be shouting at me. What is it? A double barrel thing. Oh God. Cummins. That's not very double barrel, is it? A Cummins engine in it, so I think it'll be the Cummins engine to be for CX, whatever they are. We shall find out. We shall look into this for you and definitely find out. It's funny how different names, it's like that Packard. I don't know why, I just don't. Our Peterbilts have got the Packard engine in them, and they're bags of shit. Well, they're not bags of shit, they're probably very economical. I know the owner-operator, Mark, who has one, he loves it, because he's getting 8 9s to the gallon driving it steady and what have you. But especially when he's on the flowers. But if you're probably driving it like the other the company drivers, I think the fuel is exactly the same as this, 7, 7.5s and things like that. It's nothing fantastic, and they so do not pull. They're like a Mercedes engine. We all know what a Mercedes engine pulls like. Don't matter what badge is on the side of that Mercedes, you can stick 500 on there, it don't pull like a 500. I don't know where they get mixed up or who calibrates them. Maybe Volkswagen put the brake horsepower on and make the emissions up or some bullshit. Yeah, they've been frightening me after death. So, anyway, going back to the engine. So you got your Packard, you got your Cummins, you got your Cat. Cat sounds really tough, and they're always yellow. And then you got your Cummins, is always red, and it sounds tough engine, not it? Cummins. Then you got your Detroit. It sounds like a manly engine. What's the other engines are? The Cat Peterbilt, Dakar, Detroit. And then you got your Packard. It doesn't even sound manly, does it? It just sounds Packard. It just doesn't sound right. Not like the other manly engines. Maybe they need to change the name. Then it might beef it up a little bit. Who knows? But the 460s, that's the one. I don't know. The 500s might go better. There's a 502 or something like that, and then you can. I'm presuming the 460 is the same engine as the 500 or a 480 or something like that. You could just chip it up, but hopefully that might go a bit better, because I know for sure them 460s don't pull very well at all. They really don't. No, that's my point and my take on the Z-Truck. That be the Mississippi. That is the Mississippi. Coming out of Iowa. This is where we start going into into Illinois, and the roads are starting to get worse now. And then you get around Chicago, bottom of Chicago, and just hold on to your hats. I don't think it's not just Europe and England that you have your potholes. They have their fair share here, I'll tell you. Especially this concrete, when that gives. It lasts a lot longer, obviously, the slabs and the concrete. This looks bad. But when it does go, big lumps of it just seem to come out. Illinois. Mosquito paradise. Just to show you, this is 2,200 miles in, and well, 2,150 miles, sorry, in, and this is the first bit of traffic that I hit in all those miles. This is the first bit coming over the state line into Indiana. So this is to be expected. This is right on rush hour traffic. It's still doing 50, 60 mile an hour stop and start. Traffic in America, in traffic jam, is really weird. It never really stops altogether. It always keeps that little bit of rolling going on, which is pretty good. Shit me, you've got a shitload of lanes going on here. It shouldn't stop at all. Down at the bottom of the Great Lake here, Michigan Lake, Lake Michigan or whatever, it is quite congested. You know, it's like London. It's not just Chicago. You've got George, and you've got loads of other cities all spread out over the years and joined onto each other. So it's to be expected. Everybody's leaving work wanting to gun yam. So it'll be what it'll be. It won't be too long. I get out of here. I jump onto a real little section of the toll road, and then I'm back off onto the US 30. That'll be all right. Hopefully there'll be some parking. I was working out, it's not a bad run this at all, because once I get onto the US road, which I've got enough time to get there, I'll find somewhere to park. It's when you head south towards Nashville and places like that, if I'm going further down the 29, my God, and that and staying on the 80, such as on here, parking late on is a nightmare. It's like Europe, like Germany or England, you know. If you're not packed up by 4 o'clock, you're going to be struggling to find somewhere. It's very much like this over the East Coast. But if you get onto the not the main roads or anything like that, it's a lot easier, a lot better. I know a little sneaky place that I can get behind a supermarket, where I did the other week, and that'll do for me. Nice and quiet. Nobody's going to bother me there. They have started clamping down on some of the supermarket parking, like Walmart and places like that, where they're putting these big suckery things in your windscreen, which you can't get off unless they come and take it off, blah blah blah. But there's no parking signs and things like that. I always ask, even if there is a sign up, I always ask, and if they say no, well, I'm out of that kind of thing. If they say yeah, don't worry about it, you're right. But half the time, it stems from years back to the signs. No semi-parking, no, and things like that. From where there was a lot of hookers in the car parks and strolling round before it all went underground onto the internet and things like that. So it isn't majority of the time, actually, I found out it's not actually the supermarket that is policing, saying that there's no parking in the actual areas. It's the local police that have put a clamp down on it and things like that. Which, quite rightly so, I suppose you wouldn't want to go to your supermarket and there's hookers going to local supermarket and there's hookers prancing about all over the place, in and out of trucks and shit like that. I'm sure I wouldn't want that going on my doorstep. So, you know, but a lot of the signs are still being left up and they don't allow parking after 10 o'clock and blah, blah, blah. In some parts. But it is what it is. You ain't going to change it, that's for sure. Just going to go on with it. Such is life. Good morning. I'm in Indiana now. I'm over the state line. Had a cracking day yesterday. 700 plus miles in. So well happy with that. 730 or something like that. So really cracked on compared to the day before where I got held up a lot and it was shitty going through South Dakota because of the ice and the shit like that. It's not often like I park up, but like I said before, it was just getting too bad. It was accident waiting to happen. Anyway, so that's all in the past. Forget about that. I've ran my fuel. Shut up. I've run my fuel down quite low because I want to fill up now. I'm only 580 mile away from getting on Long Island, New York. So if I fuel up right now, let it run right down, then I'll have enough. If he brings, I still haven't got a load yet. I still haven't got my next load, so I'm starting to flap and what have you. I want my load. I like to know what I'm doing, as you all know. So if I fuel up right now, I get about 1,200–1,300 mile out of a tank before I need to fuel up. So like I say, if I get fuel now, 580 mile to my destination, and then I will have enough to get me all the way down to
Love's Tire Care on the left.
Thank you. Have enough to get me down to Georgia, Atlanta or somewhere like that, because that'll probably be where, if it does get me a short run, it'll be down to there, I presume, and then somewhere around there will get me back over to Salt Lake City, and then forthwith and on home. That's the usual thing. Or he might get me somewhere direct home, or he might send me to Florida. It's all... So, fuel up, go shower, have some breakfast. It is Friday now, Steve. Steve likes to keep a check on what time it is and things like that all the time and what day it is. So there you go. It is 20 to 8 in the morning, which is a good... Where's the fuel? I'm going the wrong way, man. That's weird. What was that? Oh, I've got to go around this way. No worries. I can't believe the weather. Absolutely beautiful. We're up at 10 degrees as well. Smashing day. Really is. Indiana's quite rolling hills and, well, not really rolling hills, pretty flat little bits of hills, really. And nice roads. Speed limits back up to 70 mile an hour. I only have the little bit getting away from Iowa and the state after Iowa that I can't remember the name of, and then it's a bit bumpy through that. Illinois, it's a bit shitty, like I said before, the roads through there. But once you get away from that, these roads are pretty good and 70 mile an hour speed limit. I'm on a US road. It's not a freeway, one of the motorway sort of thing that you'd say. It's just just it's still, you know, dual carriageway and shit like that, but you tend to run through some of the towns and stuff like that, which is quite nice, you know. It isn't as speedy going as running obviously on the 80, but I've got to drop down this way because it misses a massive toll road out, which is quite expensive in that. I'll join the 80 a little bit further on, and then that takes me all the way across, and then I have to dip down when I get into New York, which is happy days. So I don't want to be too late today parking up, because I want to set off early in the morning. I don't want to get too close to New York either because of the traffic, and it gets too difficult to park up as well. So that's on the agenda. Things are looking good. Breakfast and fuel up time and big boy shower. See you later. I'm in the wrong lane. Oh, excuse me, coming over. Here I am, Staten Island. Back in, there's the big gate going over into New York. No trucks or buses in left lane. Right, a little tip. As you're, where is she? Can we see her from this side? No. That bod with a torch. This, I explained last time I came over to New York, your Garmin, your GPS, I don't know if the other GPS
In 2
is...
miles, use the right 2 lanes to take the West Shore Expressway exit toward New York, 440 I-278.
You're tripping. I'm still a bit nervous about this route through here, I don't know. But hey ho, I think we've got it now. Anyway, yeah, I got a heads up from my mate Paul, said your GPS won't like this route or anything, so make sure you get it planned out and everything on, so my normal sat nav, my Garmin, that gets me to here, and then it doesn't want me to go the other ways or anything like that, because of what I've worked it out is I've looked at my paper map and logged it all out and shit like that. I think the thing is there's 12'6" bridges all on the 278, I think it is, and they're only at the right hand side, though, right at the right hand side, and that's why it don't want me to go over it, go across it, that's why. So, but plan it all out. And another little tip, a Vernon tip of the day, make sure you
Welcome to New York.
thank you very much, that was nice. When you pin out on your Google Maps to which way you want to go, always remember, blow it right out and put your pin mark right on the right side of the road. Otherwise you'll end up coming down somewhere like here. If you've got the pin mark on the southbound side of the eastbound, westbound, whichever, the wrong one, you're going to end up in trouble, because it's going to want you to come off at the next junction, come back round and messing about, and you're going to be prodding, poking, messing about with your GPS. You don't want that. You really don't want that.
In a quarter mile, use the right 2 lanes to take the West Shore Expressway exit toward New York.
There we go.
40 I-278.
So you can get all this way without hitting a toll road. That's the first toll that I've paid. So you can get all the way to New York without
Use the right
hitting.
2 lanes to take the West Shore Expressway exit.
If you come down the bottom way, that is. If you come down the bottom bit, that you can go straight on there.
Continue on
I
West
think
Shore
I've done straight on
Expressway
before.
for 8 miles.
I can't remember. Truckers use expressways, not parkways. Low, it's the law. See, that's where that sign there. That's why my GPS wants me. The Garmin wants me to go the other way. It's funny, going across you use the upper level. Going, you use the lower level. Lower level. This is the Zarano Bridge. So I'm coming off Staten Island now. Only a little island, Staten Island, south of New York City. And I should be able to see the bod with a torch somewhere up here, I think. Translated, the woman with a torch.
Whoa, these roads are bad.
Upper level. Is going on the upper level, is that like turning left when you get on the plane? Whoa, big bump, big bump. These lanes aren't overly wide here. Tight. It's a hell of a view, man. Wow. See, last time I came over here it was dark, and was it dark coming off? No, it's light coming off, but it is quite breathtaking. I'm not a city person, but oh my god, that's pretty cool. I don't know. Just a bit before you get into Staten Island, you've got Dunkirk on the left you go past. Not Dunkirk, what am I on about? Pearl Harbor, sorry. There's a prison on one of the islands out here. I'm not sure if they still use it or not.
In a quarter mile, use the middle lane to stay on I-278 East.
Yes, ma'am.
Use the middle lane to stay on I-278 East, then your destination will be on the left.
That was just somewhere I pinpointed to get me over here.
Your destination is on the left.
Okay. See, like I just said, get them pinpointed right. I've got that on the wrong, but with the Google Maps, you can just press it and it'll carry on again. If it's on your Garmin, you'll have a problem. You'll be punching buttons and all sorts because it'll be just spinning round. You'll have to go into your route and delete it off the route and that, which ain't a good idea if you're on roads like this. You know what I'm saying? Pushy, prodding, messing about with that. Now we've got Brooklyn to the right-hand side. Or to the left-hand side. Either either. It's a bit misleading as you come down here. I know the first time I ended up in Brooklyn. If anybody's watched the first video, it was dark though. So, and I was using the... Oh, fucking I'm staying in this. Okay. It was dark, so I don't know if you could make it out. I got right into Brooklyn and stuff like that. It was okay, you know, but coming back, I realised that you didn't have to take that exit. I think it's an old sign that's up. And it's very misleading. It makes you think you've got to come off this freeway, and you don't really have to come off it. Well, I don't think you do. See, I was always told you can't use the Parkway, but the Parkway, when you look at your atlas, your paper atlas, it says this is a Parkway sort of thing, but it isn't. It's the inside lane that's actually the Parkway. So you are okay to use, well, that's my philosophy, that's what I'm going